In this lecture, let's learn about optional chaining and what is its use. So optional chaining is another new feature which was introduced in ES 2020, and optional chaining is a concise way to access potentially nested object properties without causing errors if an intermediate property doesn't exist. It basically short circuits the property access if it encounters a null or undefined value, and it returns undefined instead of throwing an error. Now I know this statement might be a little bit confusing, so let's try to understand optional chaining with an example. And before we see an example of optional chaining, before that, let's first try to understand where we might want to use optional chaining. So we already know that if we want to access a property value from an object, we need to use dot notation. So for example, if I want to access the name property of this user object, I can say user.name and it will return me the value of the name property of the user object. So here, since I'm logging it, if I save the changes, the value of the name property will be logged. But if I try to access a property which does not exist on the user object, for example, if I try to access the gender property, this user object does not have a gender property. So in this case, this user.gender, it will return undefined. If I save the changes, when we are trying to access the gender property, since it is not present on the user object, for this gender, undefined has been logged. And in the same way, for this user object, we also have a property called address, which is assigned with a nested object. In that nested object, we have some nested properties. So if I try to access one of the nested properties, so for example, if I try to access the city property from the address, and if I save the changes, you will see the value of the city property is logged. But if I try to access a property which does not exist for this address property also, for example, zip, and if I save the changes, in that case, it has returned undefined. So basically, if a property does not exist on an object, in that case, for that property, undefined will be returned. And on that undefined, if we try to access a property, for example, let's say name, and if we save the changes, we will get an error like this. It basically says that we cannot read properties of undefined. That's because undefined is a primitive value and primitive values do not have properties. Here on the undefined value, which is a primitive value, we are trying to access a property and that is not possible. So that's why we have this error here. Same is true for null values also. So for example, let's say we have a property called contact and it is null. Okay. And here, if I try to access user.contact, in that case, it should be contact. So if I save the changes, you will see that it has returned null. And on that null, if we try to access a value, for example, contact.email, let's say we are expecting this contact to be an object which is going to store the email and phone number of the user. But for some of the users, he has not provided his contact details. So in that case, this contact will be null. So if we try to access the email on the contact, since for this user John, the contact is null, he has not provided his contact details. If I save the changes, you will see that we have an error. And this error says cannot read properties of null because again, null is primitive value and primitive values do not have properties. So that's why we have this error here. Now, let's try to understand the use of optional chaining. So let me comment these three console.log statements. So what I want is, if I scroll down, here I have this products array. And in that products array, I have two product objects. Now, if you see for both the products, we have ID and name. But for the first product, we have features. We do not have details. And for the second product, we have details. We do not have features. Then for the first product, I also have model where we are showing the model name and the release year of that model. But for the second product is t-shirt. For this product, we do not have any model. So for that, we are storing this null value. Now what I want is I want to loop over this products array and I want to show the details of each product in the console. For that, what I'm going to do is on the products array, I'm going to use for each method. So we have already learned about this for each method. To this for each method, we need to pass a callback function and this callback function is going to receive the current element for each iteration. So I'm simply going to call it as product. So for the first iteration, this product will be assigned with the first product, and for the second iteration, this product will be assigned with the second product. Inside this callback function, we want to log the details of the product. So first of all, let me say console.log, and here I'll say product details. Okay, and then let me write another console.log, and here I'm going to show a line like this, and then again I'll write console.log, and this time I want to show product.name. Then let me copy this, and I want to show product.features.ram, and I also want to show product.model.year, basically the release year for that product model. And here let's also give some message first. So here we want to display the name of the product. Here we want to display the RAM, and here we want to display the year, the release year. Okay, with this, if I save the changes, you will see that for the first product, we have the name of the product. Okay, so let me say name dot ram and then colon and year and then colon. Let's save the changes now. So for the first product, I can see the name of the product, the ram and the year. But for the second product, I can see the name of the product, but then we have this error, cannot read properties of undefined. And the reason is when we are trying to log the RAM of the second product, if you see the second product does not have a feature property. So this product.feature, it will be undefined. And on that undefined, we are trying to access the RAM property. And we saw that since undefined is a primitive value does not have a property. So here we are getting this error. And same is true for model year also. This second product, for that the model is null, and on that null value, so basically this product.model is null, and on that null value we are trying to access a property, and because of that we will again get an error. If I remove this ram from here, let's say I only want to log the feature of the products, the object, the feature object. If I save the changes, for the first product we have this features object, so it will return us this object. That's why you see object here, because here it will be converted to a string value, and when we convert an object to string value, it will be logged like this. But for the second product, you will see ram, I mean this product dot features, it is logging undefined, and then here we have an error and it says cannot read properties of null, because this product dot model value is null, and on that null we are trying to access year property. So that's why we have the error. Now how to resolve this error? For that, what we can do is we can write some if else statement and check. For example, here before this console.log statement, we can check if the product.features is not equal to undefined, then try to access the RAM property. If product.features is undefined, then do not try to access the RAM property. So we can write that if else statement. Same thing we can do here. Before this console.log statement, we can write an if statement checking if product.model is not null, then only try to access the year property. But instead of doing like that, in ES 2020, JavaScript introduced a new feature called optional chaining. And what optional chaining does is it checks if a property on which we are using the optional chaining, if its value is undefined or null. If its value is undefined or null, then the rest of the expression will not be evaluated. So for example, let me use the optional chaining on this features property. So optional chaining is represented by question mark and dot. This is optional chaining syntax. So on this features property, I'm using this optional chaining. What this optional chaining will do is if it will check if this features property is null or undefined, then it will not try to access this RAM property on that. It will simply return undefined from here. The rest of the expression will not be evaluated. But if this features property is not null or undefined, then on that it will try to access this RAM property. Same is true here also. Here also, if I use question mark dot, This is optional chaining syntax. So this optional chaining will check if the value of this model property of the product object, if it is null or undefined. In that case, from here, it will simply return undefined. Otherwise, if it is not null or undefined, then only it will try to access this year property on that value. So now if I save the changes, you will not see any error. So for the first product, you will see its name, RAM, and release year. But for the second product, you will see the name. But since for the second product, we do not have a RAM or release year, that is not displayed. The value for that is returned as undefined. And here, let me use asterisk, something like this. Okay, and let's also use another console.log statement to add a line break. So for that, I'm using empty string inside this console.log statement. If I save the changes, now it looks okay. So you can see we are able to display the product details of both the products. But for the second product, since RAM and year is not present, because for the second product, we do not have any features property, so it will be undefined. And on that undefined, this RAM will not be called because this optional chaining will find that for the second product, the features is not available, so its value will be undefined. And on that undefined, it will not try to access the RAM property. In the same way, this optional chaining operator, it will check the model property of both the products. For the first product, we have the model property, and since we have the model property for the first product, it will try to access this year property on that. So year is 2024, so that value has been returned here. But for the second product, model is null. So this optional chaining will find that for the second product, the model is null. So on that null, it will not try to access the year property. And this is the use of optional chaining. Now for the second product, we have details. So for that product, let's try to display the details. So here we will say product dot details dot maybe size. Okay, and here we want to display the size of the product. So you see the details property is present for the second product, but not for the first product. So for the first product, if I save the changes, for the size, it has returned undefined. This optional chaining operator, since the details property is not present for the first product, for that it has returned undefined. So I hope with this example, now you understand the use of optional chaining operator. Now you can use optional chaining operator on multiple properties. So for example, let's say we also have a third product in the products array, which is null. If I save the changes now, you will see that we have an error and it says cannot read property of null. So basically for this third product, which is null, it is trying to read its name property, and since null value does not have a property, it has returned us this error. So we can also use optional chaining on this product like this. So before accessing any property on the product object, we are checking if that product object is not null. So for that, we are using this optional chaining operator. So if the product is null or undefined, it will simply return undefined. It will not try to access this details property or this model property or this feature property or this name property. With this, if I save the changes, you see for the third product where the product object is null, for everything it has logged undefined. So you can also use this optional chaining on multiple properties in the same expression. Here we are using this optional chaining on two properties in this expression. So that is also possible. But I hope with these examples now you understand what is the use of optional chaining. The optional chaining basically checks the property on which you have used it if its value is null or undefined. If the property on which you have used optional chaining, if its value is null or undefined, in that case, optional chaining operator will immediately return undefined. Otherwise, if the property value is not null or undefined, in that case, it will try to access the next property which we have chained in that expression. So if the product is not null or undefined, On that, this optional chaining will try to access this features property. And on the features property also, we have used this optional chaining. So if the features property is not null or undefined, then on that, it will also try to access the RAM property. This is all I wanted to cover in this lecture. In this lecture, we learned about optional chaining, and an optional chaining operator is represented by a question mark and dot. This is all from this lecture. If you have any questions from this lecture, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.